Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000 or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, whew, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge. Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere in the great granite state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. And as far as I know, we're not going to let it change to big government or bust. Today is Thursday, and here we are, day number 2 basically it's because it's only the second show of the Rod Eccles Show for the year. Technically, really, it's really only the second day of the year of 2016. I know the calendar says January 7th, but really, in real terms, well, you got to give it a holiday because January 1st. So technically, if you're going by the Rod calendar, today is actually January 3rd, not January 7th. But, we'll let other people have their calendar, so it's January 7th in their book. But we know, if you're an ecclesiastic, you know that it's actually January 3rd because it's only the second show of the year for us, right? I love doing that kind of stuff, by the way, because there are people out, well, they're lefties. I love and I know they're listening to the program. So I'm just telling you right now, you leftists, I love pushing your buttons. Because there are some of you out there, some of the lefties out there that say, well, you are just such an arrogant, self-centered, SOB. Oh, and my usual response is, oh, you mean like Obama? And that infuriates them. I love pushing their buttons. So anytime I can come up with something just like that, making it all about me, just so I can push their buttons. And now the best part is I'm telling them that I'm pushing their buttons, and they will still get incensed. You can't... I don't know. That's free entertainment for me. It really is. I don't know. There's nothing on TV that's better than that. You want to have some good... If you're a conservative or a Republican or a constitutionalist, and you want to have some good entertainment, just go and push a liberal's button and watch him freak out. It's wonderful. Hey, by the way, I think we have all of our technical issues with Skype ironed out. If you want to give me a call this morning, the number is 603-835-3224. Again, the call-in number is 603-835-3224, and we'll get that working. We'll be switching some software on the program starting next week. So hopefully it'll start to clear some things up as well and make call-ins a little bit easier. Yes, we're growing. The show is growing. It's getting a little bit better. The background stuff is getting a little bit better. So hopefully the software update will make things a little bit easier and better for listeners as well. By the way, if you're a baseball fan, I'm actually happy to see this. If you're a baseball fan, Ken Griffey Jr. has been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and evidently he sets a voting record. Now, I have never been a Seattle Mariners fan, but I got to tell you, I've always been a Ken Griffey Jr. fan. The man just had some class. He was always smart. He was cute. He was a cute player. I'm not talking about, his looks. I'm talking about his personality. He was just cute. He was a type of person that future ball players wanted to be like, and parents wanted their sons to grow up to be like. So I am very happy that he got elected to the Hall. He's well deserving of it. He deserves it. I don't think there ever any real scandal that ever hit Ken Griffey Jr. I think there were a couple of little bumps here and there, but I don't think they were real scandal. I don't think there was ever any, it's nothing like Pete Rose and his gambling stuff and some of the other people. I don't think he got caught up in any of that steroid or illegal drug enhancement use stuff that some of the other players got involved in and got caught up in. I think Ken Griffey Jr. stayed out of that. I don't think he was caught up in any major scandals, which is, even Derek Jeter was caught up in a few scandals. I know a lot of those scandals had nothing to do with being on the field. But and A-Rod too, Alexander Rodriguez. A-Rod was caught up in some stuff, and I look. You got to understand. As I'm learning myself, as this program grows, I understand that once you get into the public eye, people are going to try to scrutinize you, every way to Sunday. Up, down, left, right, back, forth, it doesn't matter. They're going to scrutinize you. I know. I'm learning that. I get it. I understand it. But, the sad thing is that the people out there are the ones allowing this to happen. Look, people got to get a life. I understand idolizing somebody, but not to the point where you need to know every last detail of that celebrity's life. That's not what, for the most part, that is not what most people who become celebrities sign up for. They don't sign up for the invasion of privacy. They don't, and don't expect them to be perfect human beings. I know we kind of look for that in our presidents too. In our other leaders, look, they're human beings. We cannot expect any of them to be perfect. I know we like to say, well, we want somebody better than me. We always look at ourselves and say, I want somebody better than me as president. Well, why would you even say that? Let me be clear. If you truly believe that you want somebody better than you to be president or to be senator or speaker of the House, then you need to do some serious soul searching as to why you do not think that you are good enough. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is a brand new year, so this is a perfect time to do some soul searching and set some resolutions. It's not too late to set some resolutions and move forward. If you honestly think that all your stars that you look up to, be they in sports or entertainment or in politics, if you think that they're all better than you, then you really need to honestly take a look at yourself and ask the question why you think that way. Because all of those people that you idolize, they're human just like you and me. They came into the world the same way. They had to, they had to live in their mother's stomach for 9 months, and they had to come out the same narrow canal like every single human being throughout history. By the way, Jesus Christ came into this world the exact same way. So you have to, and look, we're all going out the same way. So it is really determined by us what we do between that time of birth and that time of death. From the cradle to the grave, everything in between is up to us. And if you, in between those two historical points of time, think that you are not good enough to do something, then you have got to ask yourself why that is. Why would you even say that about yourself? You are a God. God created you. God does not create junk. He does not create trash. It is mankind that takes the gift and the beauty of God and turns it into trash. God does not create trash. You make it trash. But at the same time, you can take trash and make a beautiful work of art. So you can turn it around. I'm telling you, we can turn this country around. God didn't create a trashy United States. Americans made this country trashy. We can take that trash and make something absolutely beautiful again. So again, I'm telling you, if you think that all those people on Capitol Hill and in capitals and the 50 capitals across the country, state capitals across the country, are better than you, then you have better look at yourself and ask the question, why do you think that way? Because there's not a single person in this country that could not raise themselves up, educate themselves, become cognizant of the facts of everyday life to make themselves be a perfect fit for an elected office. There's not a single person. There are some new programs that I've seen being advertised, or I've seen in the recent past, even on about people that have Down syndrome. Now, the interesting thing about Down syndrome people is that many of them, sometimes it's hard to tell that they have Down syndrome because they're very capable. They're capable of living on their own, taking care of themselves. I've even seen a story about a person who's got Down syndrome. It's a mild case, yes, but Down syndrome, he owns $1 million business. So if a person with Down syndrome can think of themselves highly enough to start and own $1 million business, why the hell do you think that you're not good enough to do anything else? I'm just asking the question. Only you can answer that question. I could ask questions all day long, but only you can answer. But see, this is the reason why we get stuck with some of the elected officials that we get stuck with. Because people look at these so-called wonderful human beings and think, well, at least he's willing to do that. I could never do that. And I don't know why, I think of myself so low. If you think of yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, if you think that you're a 1, then you're going to think that anybody who's above a 1 is worthy of election, of being elected. So what happens? This is something that social scientists have figured out. Now, I learned this in Sociology 101 and Psych 101 and 201 back in college. And it was true back then and it's true today. People undoubtedly and unconsciously tend to hang around people who are similar to them. Similar in many aspects of that person's life. Similar in economic gain. So in other words, if you make $30,000 a year, your best friend is most likely not going to be somebody who makes $600,000 a year. It's just not going to. Even if you went to high school together, you're going to grow apart. So birds of a feather tend to flock together. That is true. But there's something called levels of civilization, or levels of geez, now the word is escaped me, but a class, levels of class. Each class. Even in this society, we have classes, societal classes. But people tend to hang around other people who are either in the same class as they are or no more than 2 degrees separate. So in other words, if you are, let me put it to you in terms that a lot of you can understand because everybody plays video games, levels. If you're at level 10 in your life, society, wherever you fit in, economics, whatever, all that kind of stuff. If you're at level 10, you are going to hang out with and be most comfortable with, so you think, with people who are level 10. And you will stretch yourself and be comfortable with hanging out with people from level 8 to level 12. You will not be comfortable with people at level 7 or below or level 13 and above. You won't hang out with them. And the reality is that your best... Now, I know this is going to be difficult to understand because you're thinking, well, how is that possible? The reality is, because you do have, generally speaking, human beings have low self-esteem and low self-worth. Your best friend, or the person that you are attracted to most, will tend to be one level below you. Now you're thinking, well, Rod, how is that possible? Because if I'm a level 10 and my best friend's level 9, well, he's hanging out with somebody who's above me. I understand that. But understand how the human mind works. Because you think so lowly of yourself, it makes you feel better to hang around somebody who you think that you're at least equal to or better than. Understand what I'm saying? Which is why that we as a people, and it's not just Americans, it's worldwide, which is why we as a people are so easily manipulated by the political class. Because we tend to think that if they're running for office, high, powerful office, they've got to be better than me. And if I'm at level 10, they've got to be at least a level 13 or 14. The reality is a lot of those elected officials, if you're at 10, they're at 5. I kid you not. So you cannot put these people up on a pedestal. That includes the people like Barack Obama. He's not better than any of us. If the average American is at level 10, I'm telling you right now, Barack Hussein Obama is a level 5. Plain and simple. Which means that if he's a level 5, all we have to do to get better is to elect a level 6. You understand that? And you're already a level 10, so guess who's better than Obama? So I don't want to hear anybody else ever say, well, these people, they're qualified to do this. BS. It is not about political qualifications. It's about human being qualifications. Now, for that, current people in office or running for office can be a dismal failure. Hillary Clinton is a miserable human being. She's not qualified for public office simply because she's a miserable human being. Not because she doesn't have political acumen, which she really doesn't, but that's not the reason why she should be disqualified to be president. She's a miserable human being. That disqualifies her. Because if she's a miserable human being, just like Barack Obama, she's going to be a miserable and terrible president. You cannot have a miserable, lousy, failing human being become a successful leader of men. It just isn't going to happen. They will fail every single time. History has proven it. Every time you've had a leader who's been a miserable failure of a human being, they have been a terrible leader. They've been a dictator. They've been a tyrant. They've been a failure as a leader. That's something that people are going to have to understand as we get through this electoral process this year. Because things are ramping up. And we're trying to figure out who we want to lead us. Well, how about you figure out how to lead yourself first? Because if you know where you want to go, if you know who you want to be, it is going to be a lot easier for you to figure out who's going to be able to help you get there. And that's what leaders do. Leaders help others become better. Now, I want you to, I want to ask liberals, especially, has Barack Hussein Obama helped anybody but himself be better? Now, honestly, and don't even think about his name. Just think about all the action that has happened over the past 7 or 8 years. Think about everything that has happened in this country and everything that has happened to American citizens and non-American citizens who are here legally or illegally. Everybody in the United States. Have people gotten better? Or have they gotten worse? Now, it doesn't really matter who's at the helm. I don't care how much you may idolize Barack Obama. It's irrelevant. What is relevant is the actuality of the reality. I know some people are saying, what the hell did he just say? What is actuality of the reality? In other words, it's time to get real and just look at the facts. There's nothing else that counts. Doesn't matter what you and I believe. Doesn't matter what you and I want to believe. It doesn't matter what you and I want to be true. The only thing that counts is the actuality of the reality, which means the actual and real facts, whether we like them or not. The facts are Barack Hussein Obama is a miserable failure of a human being and a miserable failure for president. And nobody in this country, well, I can't say nobody, very few people in this country are better off today than they were when he took office. Very few. Well, that's a sign of a failure. And it's a sign of a failure because he's a miserable failure of a human being. Where you actually look at somebody like Ken Griffey Jr., who's just been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And it doesn't appear that Ken Griffey Jr. is a miserable failure of a human being. And thus he's beloved by millions of baseball fans around the globe. Was he the best baseball player in history? No. Was he a good to great baseball player? Yes. But it was who he was as a person that really makes him shine. I'm acting like he's dead. No, Ken Griffey's not dead. He's still alive, right? That's why I said he was cute. Had nothing to do with his looks because it's all about his personality. Now, I don't care if people think that Barack Obama is a good-looking, facially looking, good-looking man or not. The man is ugly. He's not cute at all. He's an ugly human being. And people have got to learn how to differentiate that. It's not about what you see in front of, well, it's not about the visual aspect. There's speaking of levels, if you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you make characters, and characters' attributes, personal attributes, are based on the roll of a dice and numbers. And one of those things is how does a person, how does that character really look to other people? If it's a 20, that means they're absolutely beautiful and they're mesmerizing. 1, they're, hideous, ugly, that kind of thing. So I use this type of stuff to try to, because everybody's into games nowadays. So hopefully people will understand exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to understanding levels. Don't think that somebody else is better than you. Because the reality is they're probably not. Numbers don't lie.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is Ben Gordon with Power Swabs, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Start training for a new career in as little as 18 days. National EMS Institute's innovative boot camp program will train you for a new career. Learn to respond to emergency situations and become a certified EMT in just 18 days. National EMS Institute guarantees 100% job placement. Visit www.nationaleMSinstitute.com today to learn more about our 18-day boot camp. Or call us at 1-800-497-6732. NationalEMSInstitute.com.
Stuck in a boring, low-paid job? By 2017, there will be a shortage of 2 million cybersecurity jobs worldwide. If you have a technical background but don't have a computer certification, you are being drastically underpaid. In months, you could be qualified for a new job in information technology, making real money with real job security. A new career is just a few clicks away at thecodeoflearning.com.
Bring the rain.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
And we are host, L. Rod. The number here is 603-835-3224. Again, that's 603-835-3224. You know, this is the theme this year, bringing the rain. Now, I know I've had people say, well, what does that mean? Because I've said that liberals should get a bulletproof umbrella because they're about to get soaking wet. And I had one liberal ask me, well, what does that mean? I said, listen to the program and you'll find out. Now, you know what her response was to me? Why should I listen to anybody like you? And that's just my point. Now, I listen to all sides. I know sometimes, folks, I do this for you, really. I really do. Because let me tell you something. Trying to listen to most liberals and trying to understand, because they don't have a coherent thought, and trying to understand what they're telling you gives one a migraine. It really does. And I'm not making light of people who suffer from migraine headaches, because look, I should probably have stock in Tylenol or Bear or something, because, you know, if there was such a thing as probably over, I don't like to take medication, but I got to tell you, listening to liberals sometimes, I really think I have to reach for the ibuprofen or Tylenol or whatever it is to relieve it. But there's no cure for that, because it's just sheer stupidity. The only cure for stupidity is education and intelligence. And it's hard to listen to these people sometimes, but I still do it. Because how else are you going to... It's unlike... You know, I love these people out there who always say, well, geez, you know, you ought to stop listening to Fox News or stop watching Fox News, and then you might learn something. And obviously I have to respond back to accusations like that, because I don't watch Fox News. Hell, I watch the lamestream media newscasts more often than I watch Fox, and I don't watch them very often either, but I probably have watched MSNBC more often than I've watched Fox, so I don't watch Fox. So my response is always, well, you obviously watch Fox News. And 99.9% of the time, the response from them is, I don't watch that crap. To which the logical response from me is, well, then how the hell do you know what Fox News says if you do not watch it? You can't possibly know. So what you are doing is repeating a soundbite that you heard someplace else. And as a matter of fact, the soundbite that you heard is probably not original, because the person that you heard it from is probably repeating it from somebody else. How stupid do you have to be to take anecdotal evidence, which is no evidence at all, and then spew it as your own factual reality? Do you know how idiotic that makes you look? You do not know what Fox News says because you do not watch it. So how the hell would you know if what I'm saying is what Fox News has said? There's no possible way. It's like me saying, well, ABC News is just a liberal crutch. Really? I don't watch ABC News. I would not be able to tell you on a nightly basis what ABC News says because I do not watch it. Now, I can give you a general term of lamestream media because I pay attention to the news media as a whole, and as a whole, the majority of it seems to be reporting as a left-wing nutjobbery factory for the Democratic Party, which is why I can call them the lamestream media. But I cannot say that ABC News is the worst of the bunch because I don't watch ABC News. I can tell you that because I have watched MSNBC that I can call them MS Mess because their host and their newscast is a bunch of bunk because I've watched it. But you can't tell me, if you've never watched Fox, that Fox is terrible. But hey, this is, This is what they do. This is why I like to call out people. I don't even care if I call out everybody. If you're on the left or the right, center, doesn't matter. You know, whatever you believe, it's got to be a logical reason for your belief. You just can't pull it out of thin air. Well, isn't that what Christianity is all about? No, it's not what Christianity is all about. You just can't pull it out of thin air. Now, whether you believe it or not, and that goes with all major religions, it's not pulled out of thin air. There's some major foundational evidence for their beliefs. And those foundational evidences are usually written down in a book. You know, we call them Bibles. Each one is, has the Bible for Islam is the Quran, and the Bible for Judaism is basically the first five, Talmud, the first 5 books, and then you have, the Christians, they just call it the Bible, but there's the Old Testament and New Testament of the Bible. So the Old Testament, it's Bible, New Testament, it's Bible, and most major religions have their own Bible, where their tenets are solidly written down for people to study over and over again. Now, you can watch a newscast, and everybody can come up with a different determination from that newscast, just like they can with religion. But it's a stretch to say that MSNBC is right-leaning. I don't know how you could possibly stretch it that far. Because there are some people that think that MSNBC is a shill for the Republican Party. I've actually heard that. Now you understand why sometimes it seems like I get a migraine. Can you imagine me having a conversation? Can you imagine yourself having a conversation with somebody and they actually believe that MSNBC is a right-leaning broadcast? Where do you go with a person like that? Honestly, where do you go? I've had 2 people tell me that, the MSNBC, man, they're just so right-leaning. Really? You do not really believe that. And they double down on it. I try to have an honest, open conversation with anybody, but when you get people like that, you need to be locked up in a white padded room if that's what you truly believe, because that's just insane. That's inane. That's insanity. Now, I am sure Chris Matthews would probably slap you silly if you said that to his face. Anybody else out there that believes MSNBC is right-leaning, please give me a call. Let's discuss it. I'll be your psychologist for a day. Unbelievable. Let's get into the news, folks. We got a lot to cover, and 3 hours is still pretty short, but we need to get into it. Look, I'm going to try something new here, so hang with me as we try to improve the program. Sometimes it's hard to test this stuff out, but I've got an interview here. It's about 4 minutes long, with from Yahoo News, and it's Paul Ryan on gun control, and he's sitting with Katie Couric. Let me see if I can play this for you. Get this started here.
The Republican Party has lost the popular vote in 5 out of the last.
Yeah, I kind of remember the last one pretty well.
Elections. Sorry to remind you.
Wait. Stop the tape. Stop. Now, Katie Couric. Now you got to understand, Katie Couric. She's obviously a lefty. Now here she's chastising Speaker of the House Paul Ryan about the Republican Party and their loss of the presidency. The four of the last 5. Is that what she said? 4 of the last 5 presidential elections. I'm sorry. How is she coming to that number? Well, in the 20 years, what have we had? George Bush won 2 elections. So how is it 4 out of the 5? I don't get her math, really. And I don't know why Paul Ryan is in there. Yeah, I know. Why is he cowering from? Look, hey, Miss Couric, yes, the Republican Party over the last, 3 presidents, if you want to go that way. Well, actually, the last 4 presidents has been split. There's been 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, and the Democrats have only served 1 more term than the Republicans over the last 4 presidents. Because George H.W. Bush was only a 1-termer. So Clinton and Obama are 2-termers, but Bush Jr. was a 2-termer. So they're only up on us by 4 years. That's historical fact correction number 1. Historical fact correction number 2, Miss Couric, as you're so focused on the president. What about since 2010, the Democrats have lost a total of more than 1,300 seats across this country? Now, I think that's a bit more significant than just losing the presidency once or twice. Excuse me? Over the past 6 years, you guys have lost over 1,300 seats. In other words, more than 1,300 Democrats were forced out into the private sector. Now, Mr. Ryan, I don't know why you're sitting there. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. It's so embarrassing that we've lost, the presidency so many times. I can't believe it. Screw that. Turn it around. They lost 1,300 seats. Let's be honest. I cannot stand this whimpery. I hate to use this guy as an example, but does anybody think that Vladimir Putin would have sat there and laughed with Katie on that? Or do you think that he would have come back with the stats and figures of the whole picture, of the big picture, the reality of everything? Yes, Katie. Yes, Obama won 2 terms and Clinton won 2 terms. But as you can see, Katie, the Democrats have lost 1,300 of your seats. I don't understand why Ryan doesn't come. Playing nice with these people just does not work. They're not going to like you. When is the GOP ever going to figure this out? They're not going to like you. One of the things that I've been interviewed for publications and on other people's shows quite often over the years. A lot over the past year. And no, they all haven't been, pro Rod Eccles. They all haven't been so unsupernaturally friendly. And I understand that. And I don't look to just talk to people who agree with me 100%. But I tell you what, if you're going to ask me a question, and the question is going to be that stupid in a name like that, I'm going to straighten it out on you. I'm going to reframe it so people fully understand the full facts. Yes, Katie, you're correct. Well, first of all, she's 4 out of 5. She's incorrect in that. But yes, Katie, you're correct. However, if you actually look at the numbers, out of the last 5 presidents, Republicans have held the office 3 times and Democrats only twice. Ronald Reagan, George H.W., and George W. Bush versus Clinton and Obama. Last 5 presidents. So 3 out of 5 of the last 5 presidents have been Republicans. Now, Katie, you also have to understand this. Out of the last 4 presidents, we're only down 1 election. In other words, Bill Clinton was elected twice. Barack Obama was elected twice. George W. Bush was elected twice. George H.W. Bush was only elected once to the office. But that's not the real test, Katie. The real test to your inaccurate statement is that Democrats have lost 1,300 seats across this country over the past 6 years since the 2010 midterm elections. And not only have the Republicans regained the House, but we also regained the Senate. And in 2014, we increased our lead in both the House and the Senate. So at this particular point, in this particular juncture, I don't think the Republican Party is on the decline. I think we're on the increase because all across this nation, people are turning out Democrats. And right now, the Democrats do not have a contest for their nomination. The Republicans are having a vibrant contest and a vibrant discussion about who should be their nominee and who's eventually going to lead this country. It's not on the Democrat side. I just want to clarify that for you, Katie. That is what Paul Ryan should have said. That is what a leader really says when he's clearly thinking for himself, and he's truly a Republican conservative. That is not Speaker Paul Ryan. Let's see if we can get through. This might take me 3 hours to analyze, folks, so hold on.
But by many accounts, Mr. Speaker, the GOP seems to be having a bit of an identity crisis. And
hold it. Stop it. Who's having the identity crisis? The GOP has always been, the past 30 years has always been this way. You've got people that want to be conservative, constitutional conservatives, and you've got the big party, big government platform part of the GOP. They've always been butting heads. Look, the GOP didn't like Ronald Reagan. This is no different. The people that have no identity are the Democrats because they're out there trying to out-Democrat each other. I got some stuff here on, speaking of Democrats, on the grumpy old uncle from Vermont. Do you know that they're not focusing on him right now about this gun debate? Do you know why? Because he doesn't support, believe it or not, Bernie Sanders is not fully behind all this wonderful gun confiscation that everybody thinks that Bernie Sanders might be behind. Why? Because he's from the state of Vermont. Do you know you don't need a license to have a gun? People run around in Vermont still with rifles in the back of their trucks. He knows, even in liberal Vermont, that if he were to come out against guns, he'd be booted from office. But those people are serious about their guns, which is really kind of odd coming from a liberal, a state, blue state like Vermont. They have really liberal, lax gun laws. And they have very little gun crime, by the way. I know the population isn't huge in Vermont. What is it, 700,000 people? I know it's not a huge population base, but they have very little gun crime in Vermont. Why? Because you don't know who's got one. And so Bernie Sanders is not going to go on this anti-gun push, knowing that his own state is pro-gun, even for a liberal state, which is really some strange dichotomy that I still can't figure out. So the ones who cannot figure out who they are and what their identity is are the Democrats, because they can't even tell you the difference between a socialist and a Democrat. Oh, I just want to tell you that I am for this and I am for that. But that's not answering my question. What's the difference between a Democrat and a socialist? And that question has been asked by more than one Democrat. To more than one Democrat. And none of them can answer it. So I don't know if they even know, or if they do know, do they want to admit it? Seems to me like the Democrats are the ones that are having an identity crisis. You ask a GOPer, well, no, I'm a true conservative. What's the difference between a conservative and a moderate? Oh, a conservative is something like Ted Cruz, a moderate something like Jeb Bush. You get an answer. Mitt Romney says, I'm a moderate. I'm a conservative moderate. I believe that I'm not going to be that extreme as a conservative. I'm going to be more moderate as a moderate conservative. There's no identity crisis there. Republicans know who they are and who they aren't. Now, obviously, we have some people that seem to switch. Paul Ryan bursts on the scene, and you thought he was a fiscal conservative. Now you wonder, what the hell is he? What kind of moderate is this guy all of a sudden? He was never a moderate before. What the hell happened to him? Aliens came in and took over his brain. That's what happened to him. I don't know if somebody actually said that or not. I'm just putting it out there. For all you George Noory fans that listen to this program, there you go. There's my George Noory-esque thing. Some entity took over Paul Ryan's brain. Because that's not the Paul Ryan that was first elected to Congress, a few years ago. I don't know who this Paul Ryan is. Well, maybe Paul Ryan has a personal identity crisis. Maybe that's what Katie Couric is trying to get at. Not the Republican Party as a whole, but just Paul Ryan. I don't know. Anyway. Paul Ryan, he needs to, maybe he needs to, I just got a private, you guys should follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Just got laughing here because I got a Twitter message. Maybe Ryan needs to use Obamacare and go to the doctor and have that alien exercise. Well, I think exorcism is a religious thing. And religion is not allowed in Obamacare, but they got a point. That's it. Paul Ryan has been possessed by liberal demons, and he needs a Catholic Church. That's what happened to John Boehner. John Boehner was possessed by liberal demons, and when he met the Pope for the first time, and when the Pope came to the United States, the Pope exorcised the liberal demon from Boehner's body. And Boehner saw what he had done while under being possessed and felt so ashamed that he had to resign. He thought the only thing that he could do was to resign. So you may be on to something. Is Paul Ryan Catholic? I don't know. But he's probably Presbyterian or something like that. But, maybe Paul Ryan needs to be exercised. Very good. You listeners, sometimes you guys are very astute. You really are. Because I didn't, that could possibly explain Boehner's behavior. It really could. Think about it. I mean, the man was all about being, working with being this moderate and stuff. Basically, and not doing it. We don't have the votes, and we don't have and he had all the votes and powers that he needed to do whatever the House needed to do, and he wouldn't do it. And then all of a sudden, the Pope comes to town, and the Pope leaves, and Boehner's like all teary-eyed crying, and he's always crying, but now he's really teary-eyed crying. I gotta resign now. I'm gonna retire. I don't know what I did. I don't know. I gotta go. And then he's gone. So you gotta wonder if maybe the Pope did exercise. Catholic health care. Speaking of health care, from there's some news about healthcare that I'm going to get into, try to make it into the program this afternoon or this morning. But healthcare insurance, you like a lot of people, they want to say no to healthcare insurance, this Obamacare crapola. Well, I don't blame you. But you're afraid of being penalized, aren't you? You don't. Well, right now the penalty is a lot less than the cost of buying into the Obamacare healthcare system, but that's going to change unless the law is repealed. So you got to set yourself up now. You don't want to be penalized with this mandated stuff, and you don't want to have to take this poor mandated stuff, but the government wants you to think that you have no choice and that they're going to come and punish you. Fear and intimidation. So in other words, the government is saying either you pay up or you pay out. That's what's being said. Well, there's a great way to say hell no to all of that, and you can find out by visiting StopObamacareTaxNow.com. Find out more. Again, that's www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com, and find out how you can say hell no to Obamacare. Take health care back into your own responsibility where it belongs and out of the hands of government, and still keep a little bit of money in your wallet. Don't let the government rape your wallet anymore. Just take a stand. Not only vote, but just go to the website, get some more information. Folks, we got 2 more hours to go, so hang in there. We'll be right
back. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000 or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge. Continue to bring the rain down upon liberals' heads, getting them soaking wet. That's why I get it. Look, it doesn't mean that I know what bringing the rain military term means, but the people have to. Why do I have to explain this to folks? And this is getting pretty sad that you got to explain every little nuance of everything. Well, that's what liberals want you to do. So. Because they always try to twist and turn and do all sorts of other things and make it sound like it's something that it's not. But anyway, welcome back, all of my fellow Americans and liberty lovers and you wonderful ecclesiastites, because I have returned for hour number 2 here. And who am I? I am your lovable host, L. Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is live free or die. It is not big government or bust. And we plan to keep it that way as we get into hour number 2 here on this Thursday morning. Your new morning addiction. The Rod Eccles Show is now your new morning routine, is it not? And I'm kind of happy. Well, not. I'm really ecstatic now that this can actually go the full uninterrupted distance for your entire day, especially if you're East Coast or Central. I was going to say Central Coast, but Central Time Zone. Your entire work day is covered. If you don't like your job, first of all, if you don't like your job, maybe you should assess your skills and improve your skills or gain new skills to get a job that you'd like. Or just figure out why you may not. Maybe your job is kind of repetitive and a little bit boring. That's highly understood. There are a lot of people that actually like the work that they're doing, but their job, they're not too particularly thrilled with their job, as it were, because it's kind of boring and repetitive. Well, this is a way for you to add a little bit of spice and non-boredom to your work day, 5 days a week. And I know, how do you say that? How do you do that, Rod? How do you do that? Well, you have the ability to listen to this program 5 days a week. So you got me until noon, and then you got Rush until 3, and then you got Hannity until, in most cases, until 6. So if you are on the East Coast, 9 to 6, you're covered. If you're in the Central Time Zone, 8 to 5, you're covered. Even out in the West, well, what is it? West Coast is probably 6 a.m. right now, right? So you guys are just getting up and getting ready to go to work out there in the West Coast, 6 to 9. Mountain drive time, 7 to 10. Did I get everybody? Yeah, I got everybody. Alaska and Hawaii. Well, there's not enough people in Alaska. Yeah, you guys are all out in the bush in Alaska. I watch the Alaskan bush people and Alaskan frontier, whatever it is, with the Kilcher clan. They're not listening to radio anyway. Y'all don't listen to radio up there in Alaska. But Hawaii, Hawaii might as well be another country. They're so far out there. How far behind is Hawaii? Hawaii's like going to Europe. They're about 6 hours, right? 6 hours difference. So actually in Hawaii right now, what is it, like 5 a.m.? A little after 5 a.m.? Nobody's up in Hawaii right now. So if you're in Hawaii, you're obviously getting this on a replay. And if you're an American living overseas and you're in Europe, then you're probably 6 or 7 or 8 hours ahead of us right now. So, you're looking at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. in Europe right now. So this is late night addiction. And I know there are military people that listen, that can catch the program over there. So, and the wondrous thing about the internet, you can be anywhere now that has an internet connection and give a listen. So again, Europe, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I will say this about visiting Paris. It was interesting to visit during a time of the week when people would normally have to go to work, Monday through Friday type of thing, and it was quite interesting to Paris is a huge city. What is it? 12, 13 million people in Paris, but at night, you get after about people are after work, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. The streets are abuzz, not with people driving, but people walking, all ages. That was really exciting to see. You got old couples walking hand in hand, older couples walking down the street at 9 o'clock at night. But then at around 10:30, 11, they started to roll up the sidewalk. And not only did they roll, you got to like midnight, 1 a.m. I don't know. They have, what do they call them? Discotheques there at the nightclubs. The streets were nearly deserted. It did not act like a large, well, because we're used to large cities here being 24/7. New York City, the city that never sleeps. You go out at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in New York, and it's almost just as bright and vibrant as if it were, 6 o'clock in the evening. Not in Paris. It was pretty much shut down that late, which is really kind of it. It's different to see how other people live and to see the choices that other people make. Large city of Paris acts more like, it sort of lives more like a smaller mid-sized American town or city. Amazing to see. Anyway, trying to get back to the Paul Ryan thing. And I know people are saying, well, this is, Paul Ryan is Paul Ryan. Well, let me reset this up. It's Katie Couric is interviewing Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. And it's mostly supposed to be about gun control, and Katie is just getting to the point of where, she was misstating some facts. Let's put it that way. And that Paul Ryan didn't really jump on her and take the opportunity to fully correct her about her factual errors. But I did that last segment for the speaker. So feel free, Mr. Speaker, to use that the next time you're interviewed and somebody like Katie Couric says something inane and totally stupid and inaccurate like Katie Couric just said. Just so you have it. Put it in your archives, your files, whatever. And then when it comes to mind and somebody says or asks a dumb question like that or makes a stupid statement like she did, that it was a stupid and inane. She didn't even have anything right. It was just stupid. But anyway. Now she's moving on to say, talking about the how divided the Republican Party is and losing our identity and all that kind of crapola that they constantly say every 2 years. It doesn't matter. This is why I say you can't listen to the lamestream media, because they're not going to like you anyway. It doesn't matter what the truth of the reality is. They're going to try to twist it, bend it, mold it, shape it into their own image. The reason why she's bringing this up, Mr. Speaker, and all you other Republicans, is because even Katie Couric knows that there is no identity. There is an identity crisis over on the Democratic side. There is no vibrant... The Democratic debate right now is so boring. There's nothing going on over there. What do you got? You got half the Democrats still asking who the hell O'Malley is. And then the ones that know what's going on over there in the Democrat Party, half of them, because they're young, want nothing but free stuff, so they're going to support Bernie Sanders, the old grumpy curmudgeon uncle out of Vermont who wants to give everybody everything and say that the rich are going to pay for it all when the rich don't even have enough wealth to pay for anything. On his wish list. And you got wonderful Hillary Clinton, that she's so busy trying to figure out and remember what lie she told yesterday, so she doesn't contradict the lie that she told yesterday with another lie today, that she's too busy trying to emulate and follow Bernie Sanders to the left, that she doesn't even have a clue of who she is anymore. Which is why she's laughing all the time. But be that as it may, this is what, as we're moving along in this interview with Katie Couric and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan.
What do you think the party needs to do in order to win the presidency?
It's a really good question. I think we need to win converts to conservatism instead of trying to, some people think that we're in a civil war. I don't think that that's the case.
No, we don't need to win. I don't know where these people, they live inside the Beltway. They don't get it. Speaker Ryan, you do not need to win converts to conservatism. The country is already conservative. You do not win 1,300 seats in 6 years by needing to convert them to conservatism. They're already there. What part of that? I'm just beside myself with them not understanding this. Okay, maybe that's the problem. They do understand it. They just don't want to admit it. But it is absolutely unfathomable to me why he would even say something like that. You don't need to win any. Americans fully understand it. Generally speaking, the majority of this country is right of center. You don't need to win those converts. I know what he's saying. What he's really saying is, well, we got to, Katie, we got to do better to get the black vote. We got to do better to get the Hispanic and Latino vote, Katie. We got to get that minority vote, Katie, because all we're getting right now is old, angry white men. And he's fallen for that line. The inside the Beltway GOP falls for that crap every single election cycle. We got to be the open. We got to be the big tent. We've got to expand our thought. We got to win converts over. The point is that you don't need to win anybody because you've already got them. and that because you're out there, you got people like Trump and Cruz and certain others who are not running for the presidency in the conservative movement who are espousing conservative values and ideals. They are attracting people who've always felt that way, but they're now coming. Look, Trump is like Sanders. He's getting people that probably would not have come out and vote who are coming out to rallies. Now, we still have yet to see if that'll translate into votes. Like Bernie Sanders is going to have to see if all his young people, college-age people who want free stuff are going to actually come out to vote. But the whole point is that they're getting these people to come out that did not come out before. Because they're telling the truth, they're resonating with what people are already seeing, feeling, and living. There is no need for conversion. None.
I think we are in the midst of unifying. I think with presidential primaries, you're going to have schisms and skirmishes because that's what primaries do. They don't really have a competitive primary on the Democratic side. We have an extremely competitive primary. But in order for our party to be a true majority party, we have to offer an alternative way forward. We have to show people what our principles are and how we apply those principles to the problems of the day to offer.
Well, first of all, Speaker, the principles are you don't give the Democrats more than they ask for in a budget. You don't give Democrats more than they asked for in a budget. And some people might say, well, they didn't. Well, yeah, they did, because even Chuck Schumer came out and he was basically shocked. Hey, he said it. Well, he gave us more than we asked for. Never thought that would happen. That's not a Republican principle. You don't give liberals more than they ask for. You give liberals a hell of a lot less than they ask for, and then you make them extremely thankful for getting the crumbs that you let them have. When was the last time when you had a liberal majority that they gave the Republicans anything that they asked for? When was the last time? You can't name a time, can you? Yeah. Neither can I. Because I don't think it's happened.
People real solutions that really affect their lives, that improve their conditions, that improve their future, that improve what I call rebuilding the American idea. You know, this great idea that the condition of your birth doesn't determine the outcome of your life. You can make it in America. A lot of people don't believe that is there for them anymore. That's a shame. We should be the party to show how we can restore that opportunity, that growth, and that security that is such a huge issue these days, given the fight we have with radical Islamic terrorism.
Well, I know that your first order of business is a bill to repeal Obamacare, which of course the president will veto. And without an alternative, doesn't this feed into the notion that the GOP is a party of no?
Well, there's nothing wrong with being the party of no. What do parents tell their children a lot? No. Why? Because we know that if we say yes, that yes is going to be harmful. This notion that the Republicans need to have... why do we always do this? We let the Democrats set the tone and set the notion. They'll propose something, anything. And then all of a sudden, in order for us to not be seen as the party of no, we've got to have an alternative. No, we don't. There's that word again, no. We don't need an alternative. Hey, Democrats propose, let the government take over health care. The GOP says, no. Okay, GOP, what's your alternative? We don't need to have an alternative. I mean, this is the most... They can propose anything, and they have proposed anything. Over the past 40, 50 years, they propose all kinds of stuff, and we're supposed to have an alternative for every one of the... How about we just say, no. There is no alternative because it's unconstitutional, for one. Two, the government does not need to be involved in people's health care because it doesn't work. We've already done that with Medicare and Medicaid, and the VA, and it's an abysmal failure. So we're not going to do that to 300 million Americans. It's not feasible. It's not proper. It's not right. The answer is no, and there's no alternative. The alternative is let people take care of their health care themselves. The government stay out of it. That's the alternative. We don't need to have another bill, a competing bill on the Republican side. Oh, here. You know, the wonderful Democrats, they have a bill to take over 1/6 of the American economy and take over people's health care. Okay, Republicans come along. Well, geez, now we got to have an alternative. Well, we don't like the Democratic version, so here's our version of taking over 1/6 of the American economy and taking over people's health care. That's a bunch of BS. We don't need an alternative. We need that 2-letter word, no. That's it. Well, you're just uncaring. No, I'm not uncaring. In fact, I'm more caring than a stupid liberal because I don't want to control your life. I want to give you the tools and the freedom to make the decisions that are best for you because only you can make those decisions, not some stupid bureaucrat inside the Beltway in Washington, D.C. They can't make that decision for you. You and your family and your doctor can are best to be able to determine that decision. What kind of alternative is needed instead of that? No, Rod. You can't let the American citizen, the American people, make their own decisions. That's un-American. We got to have alternatives. No. Well, the alternative is no. Governments will stay out of it. That's the alternative. That's the best alternative. And for those people who truly and really do need some assistance, then we will. You know what? I apologize, folks. If you did try to call the program, again, 603-835-3224, I did not have my screen up because I was too busy talking to you and paying attention to the Ryan Couric interview. But go ahead and give a call right now, and I'll put you on the air. You got about 4 minutes before we get to the bottom of the hour. So, or, bring it on the next side. But go ahead and give us a call, 603-835-3224. I'm the only person here, so I'm looking at 3 different computer screens and trying to run the show at the same time. See, I can do a lot, but I can't do everything. Even I can't do everything. But I do try. In any event, you can't, the whole purpose of no is simply not to, well, no is an alternative, by the way. Because what you're asking for, what you're looking for, obviously, is a yes. What you're asking for is a yes. My answer is no. That's my alternative. 607, you're on the Rod Eccles Show. Go ahead. What's on your mind? Oh, lost somebody. Never mind. You got to understand that no is an alternative. I love these people who think, look, are you going to, hey, Mommy, can I put my hand in the fire? Johnny, let me give you an alternative to no. Put your hand in this scalding pot of hot water instead. No. No is the alternative. No is the answer. No, Johnny, you're not going to put your hand in the fire. No, little Johnny, you're not going to put your hand in a pot of scalding hot water. No, little Johnny, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do. You don't give your kid an alternative to do something equally disastrous. Where do we get this kind of stuff? Really, frankly, you don't give your, you don't. I'm sometimes I'm really at a loss as to why we have to. Why is it that why don't the Democrats ever have to come up with an alternative? Why can't we just say no, and then say, okay, Democrats, this is your idea. So why don't you come up with an alternative? Because, hey, we just said no to this idea. So now it's your turn to come up with. Why do we always have to come up with the ideas? You came up with a wonderful idea. We're telling you that we don't need this idea. So what you need to do now is come up with the alternative to your own proposal that you're not going to get. Why is it that? And you know what? I think we got to take a break right now. So if you're calling into the show, give us 4 minutes and we'll be right back to take your calls.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is Ben Gordon with Power Swabs, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Start training for a new career in as little as 18 days. National EMS Institute's innovative boot camp program will train you for a new career. Learn to respond to emergency situations and become a certified EMT in just 18 days. National EMS Institute guarantees 100% job placement. Visit www.nationaleMSinstitute.com today to learn more about our 18-day boot camp. Or call us at 1-800-497-6732. NationalEMSinstitute.com.
Stuck in a boring, low-paid job? By 2017, there will be a shortage of 2 million cybersecurity jobs worldwide. If you have a technical background but don't have a computer certification, you're being drastically underpaid. In months, you could be qualified for a new job in information technology, making real money with real job security. A new career is just a few clicks away at thecodeoflearning.com.
Bring the rain.
this particular point in time. Again, I'm one person, 3 screens. Sometimes you miss when people are calling in because I get so into the conversation that I miss seeing that. I need to have one of those lights that flash above me. That flash call. Well, maybe 603-835-3224. And let me remind folks of something. Social media is it's a fantastic medium. It really is. And you need to be following me on social media, different social media accounts that I have for different reasons. If you're a professional, there's lots of professional information that I often put over on LinkedIn. And it really all over the place. It's just Rod Eccles, pretty much. It doesn't matter, what social media that you're on. If I have an account there, it's just search for Rod Eccles. You're going to find moi because picture. I look like me on every single social media outlet out there. So LinkedIn, I have a professional account, as well as Twitter, and Facebook and the Facebook fan page, and Google Plus and Pinterest as well. And let's take a call here at 336. You're live on the Rod Eccles Show. What is on your mind?
Yes, Rod. I'm calling in to give a shout out for Trump, and also want to give a shout out to all his followers on Twitter. This thing is a real movement, and I think everybody is just really gut feeling love for him and what they think he can do for this country. He's got the message we're all listening to, and this isn't a Romney, and this isn't even a Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely correct. A lot of people are the numbers here in New Hampshire or in New England when he has rallies are incredible. And what I'm surprised about is how the media tries to cover that fact up. Recently there was a reporter that was exposed for being less than honest when he was trying to tell people that, that he went to a Trump rally and the numbers weren't there. Now, what came out about that picture in that report was that reporter was at the event an hour and a half before the event took place, and he was inside the venue taking the picture. What he didn't take a picture of was the massive line outside an hour and a half before the event. What he didn't take a picture of to show everybody was the event as it took place after it started with a packed house. But this is the type of thing that is happening, and it's not. Look, all you got to do is just understand. Look who the lamestream media is attacking, and they are telling you, without telling you, but they're telling you exactly who they're afraid of. And make no mistake about it, the lamestream left is deathly afraid of Donald Trump, and they're afraid of Ted Cruz. Those are the two people that they're mainly afraid of right now. They're not afraid of Jeb Bush. They're not.
That's exactly right, and the reason I think the supporters are so strong for Trump is because they know he can win the general election. He's just not a Southern candidate. He's not a one line down the main street kind of candidate. He's got likability all over the place, and there's going to be a lot of voters come out that nobody's expecting. And when I go to the small stores around where I live in North Carolina, I can be standing in line, and the talk I'm hearing about Trump is just really, really strong. And I never heard that with Romney. I never even heard that with Bush. And I'm looking so forward to seeing Trump just take this thing all the way. And I also wanted to say, I've listened to Judge Jeanine Pirro for years now, and it's my gut feeling. I would love to see a person like her be a vice president, because I think she's a strong woman. She has the same type of strength that Donald Trump does, and I wanted to put that out there this morning. And I just appreciate so much you taking my call.
Well, I do thank you for calling and taking the time out of your busy day to give me a ring. In North Carolina, by the way, I when I was back there in September, there was a lot of Trump support. Look, the Carolinas are true conservative territory. I mean, that's just a fact. And they were none of them. Being in North and South Carolina, I just came back from South Carolina, and I got the people down there. They're friendly, they're smart, they're intelligent. A lot of them may have come from other parts of the country, especially the Northeast, but they're all very conservative. They're very proud of the military, and they do not fall for or take moderates lightly. And I haven't heard
it's a deep. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I haven't heard them speak very nicely of any of the moderates, and I have to tell all the people out there who are Rubio lovers. I get it. The South, as far as the Carolinas is concerned, North and South Carolina, they're not hip on Rubio. They're really not. But you're right. There's a lot of positive talk about Donald Trump. There's a lot of positive talk about Ted Cruz. There's been a lot of positive talk about even Dr. Carson. So for all you people who think the South is racist,
that's wrong. That's wrong.
Dr. Carson is an African American, and there's a lot of positive talk about Dr. Carson down in the Carolinas. So I don't.
Yes. I guess one thing I want to say too is Donald Trump. The first time I saw him with Sabina Durden and Jamil Shaw's father. That changed my mind and put me straight on a Donald Trump path, because I know in his heart he wants to take care of this immigration problem. In North Carolina, South Carolina, these states are seeing a lot of it too, not only Texas. And I think he can get the job done. It may not happen overnight, but he has a lot of mess to clean up left from Obama. It's just pitiful.
It is going to take. It doesn't matter who the Republican president ends up being. Look, Ronald Reagan couldn't turn around Jimmy Carter's mess in a year. It's going to take 4 to 8 years to turn it around. But I don't think, and I know for a fact that Donald Trump or Ted Cruz or any of the Republican people, even if it is Jeb Bush, hopefully not, but even if it is, none of the Republicans are going to blame constantly Obama for the mess that he created, like Obama blamed George Bush for everything. They're just going to go to work to fix the problems.
And I don't even want to talk about Hillary. She is such a mess. I mean, that is just a mess. And I mean, the mainstream media have her as their golden child, and it's to me it's sickening. I mean, she has done so much to damage us, along with Obama. And I just can't wait to get somebody in there that can actually do the job as president and not try to buffalo other people every time we turn around.
I pounce on Hillary every chance I get, but she makes it so easy. Really, it's not even a challenge anymore.
That's right.
It really isn't. It's not. I mean. To disparage her by actually telling the truth about Hillary, it's not even a challenge. I don't have to go digging for anything. There is so much bad and wrong with this person as a human being.
It seems to be something every day. It's not a once a week thing now. It's not a once a month thing with her. It's an everyday problem.
Yes.
I mean, either hiding from the truth or the mainstream media, like you say, covering up. That is one of the biggest problems. Trump and the Republican candidates are not only running against Hillary, they have a mainstream media force field around her and around, Obama also. And this upcoming thing tonight on gun control from Obama, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard to even listen to the announcement about that. I don't know.
Don't even get me started about gun control.
I know, right?
This is just one. Look, I'm with you on Donald Trump. I've been following Trump since his career in the mid '80s. When he started the Art of the Deal and all that kind of stuff, and he first jumped into the national and international business scene. He's always been a business and financial hero of mine. The man is a brilliant businessman. And he's not dumb. He's very intelligent. He's very smart. And that's what we need right now, is somebody who's willing to use their God-given brain to bring forth logical results to the problems that we currently have. Not political solutions, but real-world solutions. And oftentimes the real-world solutions are nothing more than business solutions, because business solutions are human solutions.
Right. We need leadership. It takes leadership to get anything done. You have to be a leader to build. You have to be a leader to show people, what kind of plan you can accomplish. And I don't see anybody else doing that. I mean, I know a lot of people, they talk about Trump as if, he's a TV star and blah, blah, blah. Well, so was Ronald Reagan. And I mean, it took years for Reagan to actually get a good message out there and take hold. And I don't compare Trump to Reagan. I think this is a whole different era we're living in. There's a lot more danger in this world. And if we don't get somebody with some strength in there, we're just going to keep on falling down, and the country's just going to get more dangerous. And I pray every day that we can get some good leadership, man. I'm telling you.
That is the one thing we need, is we need people who will lead from the front, not lead from behind.
That's right, or not lead at all. We have no leadership, period.
Well, that's the whole basis behind leading from behind. We have a wonderful person in the White House now that leads from behind. Hey, you go up there and do whatever you should be doing. And I'll sit back here and play golf.
Exactly. That's right. I'd say his caddy sees more of him than the American people.
Yeah, he's gone on vacation so much. I'd probably say, yeah, you're right. His caddies and Air Force One has probably seen more of Obama than the Oval Office.
Oh, and don't even get me started on the pollution. I mean, climate change. He's causing climate change.
Don't you know that politically correct private jets, no matter what size they are, do not cause pollution and climate change? Obviously not, or else they wouldn't be flying them around all over the world.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And we all want to take care of this country and keep our country clean, but it's not the main objective. I mean, we need to get our military right. I mean, you watch these guys, these generals and stuff, and they look embarrassed. They look embarrassed to even comment on anything because they have no control, no leader to show them, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is our plan. And the Middle East is just, I mean, put a potato in there because it's bacon. I mean, it's bacon.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Well, I do think,
and it trickles down to us, man.
Well, I hopefully we'll start doing some reverse stuff and start trickling. You know what? If they talk about the trickle down doesn't work, I think that maybe we should start trickling up, because what they're doing is they're trickling down misery. So I think we should start trickling up that misery, and we can continue the job, because we've already turned out more than 1,300 Democrats. We've shown them that their services are no longer required. So I think we should continue that trend to trickle up the misery that they have tried to force down our throats, and force them back into the private sector to live as they were trying to force the rest of us to live. I think it's only fair.
Thank you. You hit the target with that. That's exactly right.
Well, I do thank you for your call. Call back anytime, and hey, do me a favor. Spread the word about the program. I'm not ashamed to ask.
Yes, sir. You've got it, man. Love being on here today, and I will definitely get the word out.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rod.
Thanks for the call. Folks, this is this is pretty much what's happening all over the country. It isn't just, it's not just one section of the country. It really isn't. It's if you pay attention, even if you try to watch, wade through all that muck that is the lamestream media, you're going to see a common thread. And what that caller just said is the common thread all across the country right now. Well, with the exception of certain places in California, maybe, and Washington, D.C. But in the rest of the country, that really counts. Because if you're out in California and you want to count, you're probably either if you've probably already left or are thinking of or in the process of leaving California. But there is an exodus in California. And I don't think there was I just saw something this morning about, the lamestream media was just, ecstatic about how they think that the California drought is over because the LA River and the other rivers, all of a sudden, with all the rain that they've had recently, are starting to flow and flow abundantly again. And they think this is what the report I saw this morning, this lamestream reporter thinks that the reason that there is an exodus of California right now, of Californians leaving California, is because of the drought. And this reporter was basically saying that now that the drought looks like it's starting to come to an end, the exodus will stop. Now, I got to tell you, I don't know where they get these inane, ridiculous. It isn't about the drought. Well, it is about a drought, but not the drought that they're talking about. The drought for the reason that is causing people to leave California, that drought is a drought of sensibility and logic. Look, they just enacted a law that just came into play that states, when it comes to guns, that if your neighbor hates you, all they got to do is pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I think my neighbor might be a little bit crazy, and he's got guns." And then the cops will come knock on your door and take your weapons for 3 weeks. You can't do anything about it. And then in order for you to get them back, you're going to have to go to be mentally evaluated. So it could, and frankly, when they take them away, you're not going to get them all back. That's a guarantee. Because they're going to look at your guns. Well, they're going to find something wrong with some of them. And they're going to tell you, well, that's an illegal sticker on that gun. So you can't have that gun back. It's going to be that inane, folks. I'm telling you. It is a precursor to full and all-out confiscation. This ridiculous California law that really is going to put forth this notion that your neighbor or your disgruntled employee or your family member that's mad at you for not giving them the gift that they wanted, what have you, you're going to start seeing this being a major problem, and people with more than one weapon are going to start realizing that they're not getting all their weapons, their firearms returned to them because of some stupid, inane little reason that a police department is going to find wrong with your gun. And if you think I'm being a little facetious and over the top by saying, well, that's an illegal sticker, do not doubt me, because they will look at something that minute and declare your weapon illegal. If not fine you and jail you, they will at least confiscate their weapon permanently and not give it back to you. This is where all this is headed. Don't doubt me. Do not doubt me. I don't... Man, I did. Yeah, well, the funny thing is that when people start, I told people this back in 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009 about Barack Obama, and no, that can't happen. He can't do that, and he won't. Like you folks, I don't know. We can sound the alarm all we want to, but this is the analogy. You have to pay attention to the alarms. Paul Revere went riding through the countryside saying the British are coming, the British are coming. Now, think about this for a second. What if all the patriots back in Massachusetts back then looked out their window that night and said, "Oh, Paul, yeah, I know they're coming, but they're not going to be that bad. It's going to be okay. They're not going to be bad at all." And go back to bed. And they went back to bed. Where do you think? We wouldn't have the United States of America. We'd still be a British colony. Well, we'd still be, all split up between Britain and France and Spain at the moment. But we'd be a British colony still. So when you hear an alarm, you really got to take action. And right now, this is not a Paul Revere alarm. This alarm is more like the smoke detector going off in the kitchen of your house. And you're saying, oh, well, that thing has gone off before, and so I don't even need, it's probably a false alarm. I'm not even going to go and investigate it. In the meantime, your kitchen is in flames. You got to take action when you hear an alarm. Every single time you have to take action. You have to investigate it. And you cannot sit by and say, well, it means, that's not really a problem. And then not do anything about it, because that's exactly, look, World War II, Pearl Harbor. We have learned, the history is about Pearl Harbor. We've learned that there were multiple occasions that people were trying to warn those who could make the decision that something evil was coming over the horizon, and all those people were saying, this is new technology. It's just this person or these people coming back. It's probably nobody wanted to check it out. And look what happened. You've got to check it out every single time. And look at it this way. If it turns out to be nothing, or if it turns out to be a false alarm, the best thing that you can say is, well, it was just a false alarm. Good news. Because when you don't check it out, that one time you don't is the one time you're going to regret it. And right now, the American people in general did not pay attention to all the alarms that were going off with Barack Obama before he got elected the first time. And now 300 million Americans are regretting it. So do you really want to ignore alarms again in the future? This from our wonderful new sponsors of this segment from Stop Obamacare Tax Now. If you're sick and tired of the constant financial pressure that our government is repeatedly putting on you and your wallet, on decent people like yourself, if you're sick and tired of having money taken out of your pocket going nowhere and not helping you and your family at all, trust me, I understand you and I feel your pain. We've all heard the horror stories surrounding the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, right now. I mean, the premiums going through the roof, the deductibles going through the roof. People thinking, well, geez, I thought it was going to be less expensive, and finding out it's 2, 3, 4, 5 times more expensive than what they had before Obamacare. And they're not getting the same level of care that they've gotten before. If that's your case, I understand it. So when you look at the facts of the Affordable Care Act, well, obviously the numbers just don't add up. Things aren't cheaper. You're not getting better, faster care. You're not keeping your own doctor like you were promised. All that stuff is adding up, and it's making people miserable. It's making people less healthy, less comfortable about their health care. And you might want to find or figure a way to opt out. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way that you could possibly opt out. And if you want to know how to do that, then you just got to visit www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com. Again, that's www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com to find out if and how you can opt out of this nightmare of Obamacare, because it's not helping you, it's not helping me, it's not helping your neighbor, it's not helping your community, it's not helping anybody, but it is harming and damaging just about everybody. So if you want to help send a message to Washington, D.C., that not only should Congress repeal it, and I guess for the 62nd time, the House has voted to repeal Obamacare. Now it's time that we make the Senate understand that they need to do the same thing and put this repealing bill on the president's desk and forcing him to veto, and explain to the American people why he's still supporting something that does not work, that is harming more Americans than it is helping. Again, that's www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com. And when we get back, I'm going to try to finish up the the interview with Katie Couric and the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, as well as get into some other things. So hour number 3 is coming up. Isn't that wonderful to say? Got so much more to say, so much more to cover with you, so much more for you to hear, and you can still call in and get your message heard. We'll be right back.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge. So fast. Hour number 3 here on the Rod Eccles Show. I am still your lovable host, El Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is still live free or die. Microsoft, can I say something? Look, I've got a desktop computer that I also help use to run the program, and it's an old machine, I guess, about 4 or 5 years old. I'm not going to upgrade to this Windows 10. This computer cannot handle the Windows 10. I don't think it can, because it can barely handle the Windows operating system that it has now. I'm just not going to upgrade it. Stop interrupting me with this upgrade now, please. No, I don't want to upgrade. It's kind of like, on a old HP laptop that I have. I still have it. The thing is 10 years old now. I know, it's way outdated. But it had Windows 98 on it. And they kept trying to get me to upgrade to Windows Vista. Even as after everybody knew how bad it was. I'm not doing it. I hear mixed reviews about the new Windows, the Windows 10 thing. And but look, it's not a small program, and it's totally different from what people are used to Windows, the older Windows are, and so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to switch over. So I don't know how do you turn off their notification? There's no way to turn it off. That's one thing I very much dislike about some of this modern technology, is that you buy it, you pay a lot of money for it. But the companies that sell you this stuff, they seem to want to think that they still own your device. No, you don't own my device.
And therefore, you should not be able to do whatever you want to do to my device. And I should be able to do whatever I want to do with my, I hate this term jailbreak. It's pretty, it's what everybody talks about on phones. You can jailbreak your phone. It's my phone. Well, you can't jailbreak your phone. No, it's my phone. I'm the one, because these things are not cheap. No, as long as I'm not trying to sell off secrets or anything or patented information on the phone, I should be. If I want to jailbreak my phone so I can start accepting and being able to do other things that the lock won't allow me to do, that's not your business as a manufacturer to tell me what to do with the product that you're selling me. I don't know where we get this selfish notion that we got to control everything from everybody. And I find it amazing that you liberals out there, you're so adamant about corporations telling you, how to live and what to do with the product or service that you buy from them, that you set up, all this type of elaborate stuff to jailbreak all this electronic stuff that you buy, but yet you're willing to let the government dictate to you how you're going to live. I don't get it. I really don't. It's you people are you're enigmas to me. I don't get it. But anyway, it is a Thursday, hour number 3 here, Thursday, January the 7th in the year of our Lord 2016. The number that you can call to weigh in this morning is 603-835-3224. Again, that's 603-835-3224. And I haven't touched anything that's in my paper pile yet. Nothing. We've been so focused on this Paul Ryan thing. I haven't touched it at all. So let me see if we can get through the rest of this Paul Ryan debacle of an interview with Katie Couric and quickly touch some of the stuff that you really need to know about that is on my paper pile. And, you find the paper pile over at rodeccles.net. As well as a bunch of other stuff over there at rodeccles.net. And follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rod Eccles Show fan page on Facebook, Google Plus. I think that's all I got. Oh, Pinterest. Yeah, Pinterest too. Don't forget Pinterest. I don't think I have any other social. No, I don't have a Tumblr. I don't have I'm not really hooked up to, what is it, Reddit? I think I may have I have an account from StumbleUpon from a long time. I haven't utilized StumbleUpon. But, look it up over there too. I don't know. I know that there's Ning? No, I don't do Ning. Ning.com. There's a bunch of others that I just don't have time for, and that kind of stuff that really just don't fit in with where I'm going with the program. But yeah, follow me. All those, because they're each one is different. Each one is very different, and you might you're gonna figure out which social media medium that you like best to follow me on. So check them all out, and then follow me. That's because you're gonna get some stuff, and they're all different. Put different stuff in different ways for different social. It's, what you get on, because now this year it is definitely true. What you get on Facebook isn't necessarily what you're going to get on Twitter or Google Plus or LinkedIn and vice versa and all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of stuff on, because Twitter and Facebook, you can hook them together. You're going to see a lot of posts from Facebook showing up on Twitter, but you won't see any of the original posts from Twitter ending up on Facebook. It doesn't go the other way. And I don't want it to go the other way. There probably is a way to do that, but I don't want it to go the other way. So just, you're going to want to follow it as well as, but really, for the main ones at this point in time, Google Plus is going to be being utilized a lot more, but you're going to want to make sure that you're tuned in and like the fan page on Facebook for sure, as well as Twitter. Twitter is talking about changing their character length for a message. for a tweet. They're looking at going from 140 characters to 10,000. So in other words, they want to turn it into a Facebook post. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I kind of like the brevity type of thing, 140 characters. I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard. Maybe 200 characters would be good. But I don't know, to be able to write a full... Twitter, I don't know if that's going to really work for them or not, but we'll see. Anyway, anywho, as they say out in the northern upper Midwest, for those of you in Rush Limbaugh's Rio Linda, that would kind of be, northern Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas. Yeah, Dakotas, yeah. So that's what they say. Anywho.
This year will take its course, and I think you'll see us putting out alternatives. I think you'll see us putting out alternative ideas in all of these big issues. I think we owe people that, by the way. So
why wouldn't you do that first?
Well, I think first because we found a way to actually put a bill on the president's desk, defunding Planned Parenthood and repealing Obamacare. We've been going at this for a long time. We finally found the right strategy to get around the Senate filibuster to do this. So we're very pleased that we found the strategy to do this.
The problem is the strategy's always been there. I don't know, and it's people... I heard Rush Limbaugh tell them what that strategy... They're using the same strategy that Rush said to use 5 years ago. Now, all of a sudden, we found the strategy? Well, we're not... Look, the American people are not stupid. Your constituents, Speaker Ryan, are not stupid. You've known about the Republicans just didn't want to utilize the strategy. Whatever you want to call the strategy, you just didn't want to use it. So they now, it's like this epiphany. Oh, we found the strategy.
We think Obamacare is not working. It is a failing law. It is giving premium increases unlike anything we've seen before. It is giving massive deductibles. It's restraining access. And what it's doing in Medicare, it's turning Medicare into a price controlling system that it's going to deprive seniors from the kind of care that they deserve, that they paid for.
Having said that,
a
recent survey in Wisconsin from August of 2015 found that the uninsured rate in that state went from 11.7% in 2013 to 5.6%.
Katie, you blonde, airheaded bimbo. Yes, I said it. I can't believe she's bringing up this. Look, it's the law. Everybody's supposed to have health. So actually, that 5.6% uninsured should be zero. Because the law states everybody is supposed to have health insurance. It doesn't mean you have health care. Why are they trying to combine the two? Oh, yeah. Well, in Wisconsin, it goes from, up to 12% down to below 6% in coverage, in health insurance coverage. Katie, it should be zero. Because that's the law. That's like saying, well, hey, in states where you don't have to have automobile insurance in order to have a car. Well, before the law, we had 15% of the drivers that were not covered by automobile insurance. And after the law requiring everybody to have automobile insurance, that 15% was reduced to 5%. Hello? Does anybody see the idiocy of what she's trying to do here? Most people are not happy with it. With Obamacare. They're not happy. It's more expensive. It's more cumbersome. It doesn't do what they said it was going to do. But the problem is that they knew it wasn't going to do what they were telling us it was going to do. They were lying to us. And this whole notion that they've gone from 12% to 5.5% is a red herring, because that 5.5% should be close to zero, because the law says everybody who's a breathing, living human being in this country must have health insurance. So why is the number still at 5.6% uninsured? That's the question. Paul Ryan should have turned it around on her on that one, too. Come on, Paul.
I think the rate was lower than that. I'd quarrel with that statistic, but I think the rate was lower than that. We had a pretty good system in Wisconsin, and we were really doing a good job on our own of working on our uninsured problem. And what's happening now? Fewer providers, less choices, higher premiums, much higher deductibles. I can't tell you how many times I go through southern Wisconsin talking to people who complain to me about Obamacare, about what it's doing for the hardworking families of southern Wisconsin. So I think it's a huge problem for Wisconsin, absolutely.
So do you believe that what you've done as a state is responsible for this lower rate of uninsured Americans?
I think Wisconsin was making a bigger difference earlier by having good Badger care and good reforms, and I think Obamacare has done more damage. I think Obamacare has done more damage to the state fiscal outlook. I think Obamacare has done more damage to families in Wisconsin. Higher premiums, higher deductibles, fewer choices. We saw one of our biggest insurers, Assurant, go out of business because of Obamacare. They laid off more.
That was the point. That's the whole point behind Obamacare. What is wrong with you people? Look, you had Bernie Flank. Bernie, the innumerable old representative out of the wonderful state of People's Republic of Massachusetts, who even said it openly, not once, but numerous times, that the ultimate goal is universal single-payer health care system in this country. That the only way that we were going to be able to do it, and these are Bernie Frank's words, the only way to do it, the best way to get to that point of universal single-payer health care is to institute some sort of law like Romney Care, like Obamacare, in order to facilitate, because he knows that it's going to bankrupt the insurance industry, therefore leaving only the federal government as the only viable candidate to be everybody's insurer. And if the government is your insurer, it is going to be nationwide mandatory Medicare, Medicaid. Everybody's going to be on it. It's like Social Security for 320 million people. It's going to be a disaster, but that is their goal. That's why Assurance in Wisconsin went out of business and laid off over 1,000 people in this state. Because that's the goal of Obamacare.
More than 1,000 workers in Milwaukee because of Obamacare.
And so I think you'll be working on an alternative.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to tell you is I think we owe the country. If we don't like this, we ought to say what we would do differently. And that.
Yeah, nothing. How about get out of the business? Get out of the way. That's the alternative. Tell Katie, hey, Katie, the alternative is government can't fix this because the government is the reason why it's broken. Get out of the way. Let the American people and the free market system fix this. Yeah, look, we got that with all other kinds of insurance, car insurance especially. Remember, there used to be a time in this country when states were saying, oh, no, you cannot buy car insurance if you live in New York. You can't buy a car insurance policy from California. You got to buy it from a New York policy. And insurance rates were going through the roof. And then all of a sudden, somebody got the bright idea, well, why don't we just open up competition? Let somebody buy insurance from anywhere. Let them buy it from anywhere. He says the United States of America, and we're supposed to be one union, right? 50 states forming one union. Why? What we can buy all kinds of other stuff across state lines. Why can't we buy certain kinds of insurance? So let's let them buy car insurance over state lines. They can buy life insurance now over state lines. They can buy homeowners insurance over state lines. They can get their mortgage because you used to couldn't be able to get your mortgage. You had to go to a bank within your state in order to get a mortgage. But now you can get your mortgage from out of state. So why not? Why not be able to get your car insurance? So all of a sudden, you could get car insurance from a company that wasn't actually physically located in your state. And auto insurance rates went down. Customer satisfaction in most automobile insurance companies started to go up. So in other words, they were getting better service. They were paying less money, getting better service and better coverage. And lo and behold, now we've got this price war in car insurance. And every time you turn on the TV, you got a commercial. We'll save $500 a year if you switch to us, or save $600. I mean, they're even getting to nuances. I saw a commercial the other day. I can't remember the insurer, but I do remember their specific savings amount. If you switch to us, you can save $509 a year. Like, how do they come up with that? But at the same point, they're telling you a specific that is accurate. Because it's easy for you to figure out if they're telling you the truth. Because you call them up and say, well, this is what I want. How much can this is what I'm paying now. How much can you save me? And they'll tell them. And then they can call up the next company and say, well, this is what I'm paying now. How much can you save me for this kind of coverage? And they can go down the line. You can even do it online. Don't even have to call anybody. But when it comes to health insurance, we are still under this archaic system like they found out in Wisconsin. Well, geez, I live in Wisconsin, but I see that there's a company down in Florida that has got this health insurance plan that's affordable, that I want, that I like. It fits me and my family perfectly. But you know what? In order for me to get it, I got to get a job in Florida. I can't go out and buy it myself. I got to find a company that uses this insurer in Florida. How does that make any sense? Your car insurance is not dictated by your employer or your state, but your health insurance, which is far more important, is.
That's what 2016 is going to be about. It's going to be about being an effective opposition party, but also being a forward-leaning, effective proposition party, showing people how we would do things differently. That's what 2016 should be about. It should be us respecting the citizens of this country by giving them a clear and compelling choice so they, in 2016, get to decide where they want America to go on all of these big issues. But that means we have to put up proposals. So yeah, I think we should put up a proposal on that and many other issues.
Do you feel the GOP failed in doing that previously, that it wasn't enough of a proposition party? It was too much of an opposition party?
I think a lot of us did. I've put out a very comprehensive Obamacare. Tom Colbert and I, during the Obamacare deliberations, had a completely
but I just mean in general. Do you
No,
feel like...
I don't think so. I think what you saw were lots of Republicans putting out a lot of different ideas on how to fix these things. Most of our presidential candidates have Obamacare replacement plans that are out there. Most of them have tax reform plans that are out there. The question is, can we unify ourselves around some common plans? And that's what we're endeavoring to do.
Governor Casey,
well, I can tell you right now, if you wanted to, the easy thing to do is just get out of the way. Those are the proposals. Give me a proposal that gets the Ronald Reagan plan. Reduce government size, reduce government regulation, reduce useless government laws. All that stuff restricts the freedom and the mobility of the American people. Get rid of it. It doesn't work. It has not worked. We don't need, you got one law. We don't need a proposal for another law. How about you repeal the law that didn't work in the first place? You don't add to it or build on it or come up with some alternative. You just get rid of it. Sometimes, a lot of times, that is the right answer to a problem. You get out of the way and let the innovation of the American people take root. We can, we have, and we will find the solution to a lot of our problems that way. I'm under the notion, the problem is nothing more than opportunity to better ourselves. But if the government gets in the way and prevents us from coming up and implementing that opportunity, we're always going to have that problem. Always. Because government isn't innovative. When was the last, outside of the military, when was government ever innovative? Not since the founding of the country when they came up with the Constitution. That was innovative. Ever since then, there hasn't really been any innovation. They've been trying to tear apart that original innovation. There's no innovation in government. I don't know why people think that we need to have government it's just not the answer, folks. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to sit here. I will say it, though. I will continue to say, I will say it 3 hours a day, 5 days a week until the end of time. Government isn't the answer. Ronald Reagan was right. Some of the most fearful words ever uttered were and are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Because just about everybody knows when the government comes in to help, broken things get more broken. Things that work no longer work. Costs that used to be low go through the roof. And then the government official leaves town all happy saying, look, we helped. We fixed something. All the while, they fix nothing, and their constituents are left holding the bag, and they're sad.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is Ben Gordon with Power Swabs, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Start training for a new career in as little as 18 days. National EMS Institute's innovative boot camp program will train you for a new career. Learn to respond to emergency situations and become a certified EMT in just 18 days. National EMS Institute guarantees 100% job placement. Visit www.nationaleMSinstitute.com today to learn more about our 18-day boot camp. Or call us at 1-800-497-6732. NationalEMSinstitute.com.
Stuck in a boring, low-paid job? By 2017, there will be a shortage of 2 million cybersecurity jobs worldwide. If you have a technical background but don't have a computer certification, you are being drastically underpaid. In months, you could be qualified for a new job in information technology, making real money with real job security. A new career is just a few clicks away at thecodeoflearning.com.
Bring the rain.
Biden, Vice President Joe Biden, the Grin Man. Anybody? Lately the man is looking every bit his age. He's looking like a thin, frail grandpa. Seriously, he is. He's looking like a thin, frail grandpa. But anyway, Joe Biden, he was asked, and this is from an AP piece by Josh Lederman, Lederman. Biden on his 2016 decision. Folks, here it comes. I should do a little mini thing, about it should have a gong or something. Bong, Rod was right. I told you that he didn't want to bow out of this thing. I told you this was not a decision from Joe Biden himself. He did not want to bow out of the presidential race. And in this interview, he was asked, and this is just 3 months after bowing out of the presidential campaign, or the presidential campaign on the Democratic side. He was asked, about his thoughts 3 months later on the decision. And Biden said yesterday, he said, and I quote, "I regret it every day." Unquote. Folks, that's a damning admission that he didn't want to get out of the race. He wanted to enter. He wanted to get, he was ready to get. The only thing that kept him out of the race, and I am convinced of this, and this is more proof of that, is President Barack Hussein Obama said, "Joe, no, I don't want you getting in. You can't do it now because there's too much going on, and it's bad enough Hillary's getting in, or Hillary's in, because I'm telling you, it's going to ruin my legacy. Joe, you can't do it." And Joe played the good old, vice president. He played the good old boy, and whatever it was that Obama said to him to keep him out, it was enough to keep him out. But Joe is Joe. You can't you put a microphone in front of the guy, and he's going to open his mouth and insert his foot. Now he's out there saying, well, I regret not getting it. Why would you? He says that he feels that it was the right decision for his family and for himself. Well, why would you regret making a decision that you think is the best for yourself and your family? How can you possibly regret something that is good for you and your family? The whole point is that he wanted to get in. I mean, look, I know his son Bo recently passed away, and that him and his family were still smarting from that. I get, but that is not the reason he did not get in. In fact, it was put out there a number of times that it was said that his son, even on his son's deathbed, was saying, "Dad, I want you to be the next president of the United States." So his son was imploring him to get in. How do you ignore your son's deathbed cry for you to at least get in the race to try to become president? Because that's what he wanted you to do. And then you come out and say, well, you're not going to get in. And then 3 months later say, I regret not getting in, but I think it was the best decision for me and my family. When your family was telling you, who you're basing it around, was telling you to get in the first place. You didn't get in, Joe, because somebody with a higher power and a stronger backbone than you, and I'm not going to say that Obama had a stronger backbone, but he was the president, is saying, you cannot get in. Don't do it. Because all you got to do is, and I'm sure if you wait 3 months from now and you put the microphone back in front of Joe Biden, he's probably going to inadvertently tell you exactly why he didn't get in. And it has nothing to do with, with his son, with his dying son or his family mourning the passing of Beau Biden. I'm going to tell you that's not the reason he didn't get in. That is not the reason. Because you don't regret something that was best for you and your family. That just does not, that's not even logical. It's not even common sense. It's just human sense. It doesn't make it, the best decision for me and my family is for me not to do this thing, but I regret not doing it. Well, why would you regret something that wasn't the best for you and your family? I mean, can you understand what I'm saying, folks? Look, I didn't take this job because the job would have me moving to Alaska, for instance. And right now, what's best for me and my family is that we don't move to Alaska. We stay in Florida. Because, my wife can't take the cold. She's got this condition that makes it really difficult for her to move around, and she can't take the cold. My kids, there is no school in Alaska where we're going to go, but the schools here are awesome. And my kid, he's in this school he's getting great grades, and he's a prospect for, a football scholarship or something. So what's best for me and my family is to stay right here in Florida and not move to Alaska. And then 3 months later, you say, I regret not going to Alaska. Well, you regret not destroying your family? That's what you're essentially saying. That's what Joe Biden is saying. If you're going to take him at face value, what he's saying is, what's best for me and my family, I regret not doing the opposite to harm them. Does anybody else see the problem here that I see? Yeah, Joe Biden was told for whatever reason by the powers that be, Joe, do not get in the race. I don't know how more clear you can be about that. Joe just said he regrets it. By the way, if you follow the wonderful Powerball stuff, and you live in a state that has Powerball, maybe you want to dip your foot in the water, I guess, as it were, because the jackpot is now somewhere up there at $675 million, and it's expected by the time it closes out in time for the drawing that it's going to be at $700 million. I know people are they get into this crazy, lottery win stuff, whatever it is, but that's a lot of simoleons, smackers, cabbage, bread, dough, whatever you want to call it. I'd take 1%. It's $6 million, $7 million, 1%. $700 million is the estimated jackpot. I don't think it's the largest jackpot on. Wasn't the largest jackpot somewhere around 800 million? I don't know. And you're gonna have you could, if you're the only winner, you could take a lump sum. And they're probably, it's $700 million, but your lump sum is only going to be like $300 million. Well, take it. Take it and run. And, do it a lot of, after you take it and take it, do it a lot of other American wealthy do. They spend the few $1,000s to renounce their American citizenship and move to the Cayman Islands or something. And look, why not? If you can, if you can afford to do it, there are many Americans that are, renouncing their citizenship for one reason or another. Alabama heading south of the Mason-Dixon line. Alabama Chief Justice of their Supreme Court has. I don't know. I thought this was settled. Yahoo News is reporting Alabama chief. This is from Reuters. Actually, Alabama Chief Justice orders halt to same-sex marriage licenses. Now, the Chief Justice of Alabama Supreme Court ordered the state's probate judges on Wednesday not to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples, despite a ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court last year, legalizing gay marriage. Now, gay marriage activists and legal experts assailed the order, arguing last June's landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision afforded same-sex couples the right to marry in all 50 states. Now, in a phone interview with Chief Justice Roy Moore, who issued the order, said judges were bound by the state Supreme Court's decision last March halting same-sex marriage until that court determines the effect on the state of the national ruling. A federal judge in Alabama overturned the state's ban on same-sex marriage last January. Now, there's great confusion out there as to what orders to obey, Moore said. I'm not causing the confusion, I'm trying to clarify it. Now, many probate judges in Georgia evidently were issuing marriages to same-sex couples while others refused to do so. I don't... Look. You can agree or not agree with same-sex marriage. I don't know where the confusion comes from with the Supreme Court's decision. I'm not a lawyer that's versed in this type of Supreme Court decisions and stuff, but from what I gather, I thought it was a pretty clear-cut decision. What the Supreme Court of the United States said. Now, evidently, there are some learned people who are looking at the decision and what was written about the decision and how the Supreme Court justices wrote the decision for the U.S. Supreme Court that causes some to think that it's not as clear as the rest of us think. I'm just saying, evidently, when you think something's over and settled, it's not over and settled after. Well, kind of like climate change, right? But evidently, this whole notion of, at least in Georgia right now, and they're not the only. Well, you had was it Kentucky? The county clerk in Kentucky refused to issue licenses for same-sex couples. I guess it's not as clear-cut as we all thought. So this is not the end of this debate. Everybody's out there celebrating and thinking that they've gotten away with something, I guess. But evidently, that's not the case. Just saying. Here's something from the You Can't Make This Stuff Up from the Funny News Files, and it's. WJLA, ABC, ABC 7 News, WJLA. The news car was broken into while the crew was attending an anti-robbery press conference in D.C. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, my goodness. An ABC 7 Washington, D.C. news vehicle was broken into while the crew was attending a press conference held by D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Police Chief Kathy Lanier to discuss a task force created to fight robberies. Now, according to ABC 7 News reporter Stephen Tshida, T-S-H-I-D-A, thieves tore through the news vehicle Wednesday morning, and a culprit smashed a window out of the car and stole a cache of equipment. Now, Tashida said the crime happened within view of where the mayor and the chief were speaking, approximately 100 feet away. So they were 100 feet away in full view of the mayor and the police chief giving a conference talking about a task force that they just developed to stop and cut down on robberies. And they they got robbed. I'm sorry. It's not funny when somebody breaks into your car and rifles through your possessions. I understand that. Look, I've had my car broken into and my radio stolen out of my car before. They didn't break the window, but they did break the lock. Because it wasn't really hard at the time. It was a stupid little Hyundai. It wasn't hard to do, but so I understand the sense of personal violation that you feel, although the radio didn't work. So it was a tape deck, cassette tape in radio, and the cassette tape didn't work. So it was kind of interesting to see. I was kind of like, well, hey, there you go. I got the last laugh because now they're going to try to fence a broken cassette deck radio from a Hyundai. But I still understand the anger and the sense of violation that goes along with it. But I'm telling you, it's funnier than hell to sit here and see a report of a news crew covering a liberal political conference on reducing crime, a specific type of crime called robbery, and within clear ear and eyesight, have their vehicle thoroughly robbed. You can't. That's George Carlin would probably have something very witty to say about that, because I do miss him. You gotta, if you never heard, go to YouTube or something and look at stuff that George Carlin has. He took philosophy and how people, especially politicians and people who wanted to control other people's lives, and he actually, in a very witty, insightful, psychological way, he told the truth, and it was funnier than hell. So you need to pick up his. He's another guy. I don't recall why he passed. I don't know if it was drug. I don't think it was drugs, but it could have been with him. I don't know. Here's something to make everybody fearful about. And those of you who are, remember the movie with John Cusack? 2012. Was that the movie 2012 or something? The end of mankind or what have you. And they pointed out to Yellowstone and the super volcano. Well, this is coming from express.co.uk. Again, an out-of-country publication is pointing out something. There's nothing that we can do about it if this is actually true, but scientists are warning over supervolcano that could kill millions. So they're asking, is Yellowstone about to blow? Now, the scientists have warned the world is in volcano season, and there's up to a 10% chance of an eruption killing millions of people and devastating the planet from the supervolcano that is basically takes up Yellowstone National Park. Now, for instance, volcano eruptions are at their highest for 300 years, and scientists fear a major one that could kill millions and devastate the planet as a real possibility. So no meteorite crashing into the planet. But there's also this thing that's been happening in Oklahoma, the Plain States area has been experiencing this rash of minor and medium-sized earthquakes. So they're calling it an earthquake storm. And it's been going on for a few months now. It hasn't stopped. I don't know what that says or means, and I don't know if that could possibly be connected with the super volcano in Yellowstone. But something is amiss that's going on, and I know some people are trying to say that it's all due to fracking, but I got to tell. That is not due to fracking. It's not due to fracking. And we've got science that shows us that that's not due to fracking. It's just the way the planet is and what the planet is going through. Could be gravitational forces outside the planet that are pulling and yanking on the planet that we're starting to feel the effects of this stuff. This is way above my level of scientific education. So, but I can just sit back and say that, maybe there is a little bit of a problem. I don't think that the super volcano is going to erupt anytime soon, but maybe there are some other issues that we should be paying attention to. Not that it's the end of the world as we know it, not even quoting the song, but there you go. But there might be other issues at play that we're just not paying attention to, and our government isn't telling us jack. Why? Because everybody's gonna run around and be and be scared. Well, maybe you should start watching those programs about preppers. I'm just saying. Not getting into the George Nuri field. I don't know. Well, maybe it is aliens out there, poking and prodding at our planet for some reason. I don't know. Because they're trying to take resources, precious items and minerals that we don't know anything about yet. Don't they? What is it they do? Because they use different types of resources and precious elements in Star Trek, right? For the warp engines and everything. We don't know how to. There's stuff in the ground that we don't know how to use. There's stuff in the air we don't know how to use yet. I love when people say we're running out of precious resources on this planet. No, we're not. Everything's a resource. We just don't know how to use everything yet. So who knows? Maybe there's just. I know some people are going to be out. Rod believes in aliens. I know that. I love giving fodder for people to take me out of context. Rod believes that aliens are tapping into our planet. Like I don't know if there are aliens. I don't know if they are tapping into our planet. I don't know if they're doing maybe they're doing experiments on our political leaders like Paul Ryan. That's a probability. I'm going to leave that door open for people to explore. And something on a more serious note, Obama, and this is with all of the refugees and illegal immigrants going on. Washington Examiner is reporting that Obama eyes 6 military bases to house surge of illegal immigrants. What we're going to start using military bases in order to house illegals? Now, the new surge of illegal immigrant youths has forced the federal government to look at an emergency plan to house them at 6 military bases, at least 2 federal worker centers, according to the administration. Now, the Pentagon is beginning site assessment at bases as far north as North Dakota and Massachusetts. Now, the Office of Refugee Resettlement. I did not know we had an Office of Refugee Resettlement. Well, I suppose maybe that we were going to have that type of an office. So many refugees out there, right? But this is an office at the HHS and is expanding its capacity to provide shelter for the current influx of unaccompanied children at the U.S. southern border. This temporary increased shelter capacity is a prudent step needed to ensure that the Office of Refugee Resettlement meets its statutory responsibility to provide shelter for the unaccompanied children referred to its care and assist the CBP in ensuring that the U.S. Border Patrol continues its vital national security mission to prevent illegal immigration and trafficking. So just let all of these wonderful underage illegal children enter the United States. That's what we're supposed to do, right? All these wonderful innocent little children entering the United States. And they're sending letters. We know that they're bragging about being let go and being repatriated all across the country because they're telling their brothers, sisters, cousins, come on and join them. So parents are releasing their children to head to the border because they know that we're the idiots that are going to let them in because it's all about the children. Now, look, I'm going to be cruel. Send them all back. Because where you have kids, you have adults. Well, that is the sound of the end of today's program. We'll be back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel for The first Freedom Friday of the new year. Until then, I'm Rod Eccles. It's been the Rod Eccles Show. I'm out.